Friends and viewer, good day. Today, let us talk about literature and poetry again, especially English literature, an English poet, a famous one by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth is a very famous poet, and he had written many outstanding poetry. So, today, the poetry which I am going to discuss with you is Daffodil. The Daffodil, it is a very famous, written by William Wordsworth, who born in 1770 and who died in 1850. He was an eminent English poet. He is famed for being a founder of Romanticism. Famous work of his included the Preludes, Solitary Repair, and the Ode to Duty. And the poem which I'm going to discuss with you is Daffodil, or I Wandered Only as a Cloud, is a notable romantic poem written by this William Wordsworth based on one of the stroll the poet took himself. This poem brings out the thought and feeling he had experienced through the daffodil he had seen. The daffodil is a very... so the poetry starts like this. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high or vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. This is the first stanza of the daffodil. The second stanza continues as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. They stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in a springly dance. And the third stanza, the waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay. In such a joyant company, I gazed and gazed, but little thought that wealth the show to me had brought. And the fourth stanza is, for often when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in a pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. This is the fourth stanza. And let me tell you, what does it mean, this famous poetry of William Wordsworth? What does it mean, the first stanza? The poem begins with the persona, the person comparing himself to a cloud that wandering lonely over the vales and hills. This line hints at the solidarity that encompasses the persona. All of a sudden, however, the persona sees a group of daffodils beside the lake, beneath the trees, swaying with the breeze. And in the second stanza, continuing on like the never-ending stars, the daffodils seem to stretch forever as just a mere glance. The persona could spot 10,000 daffodils dancing under the sun. The waves from the ocean near the daffodils danced just like them, except the daffodils were far better than them in their joy. The persona, revealed to be the poet himself, states that he couldn't help but partake in their infectious happiness. The persona goes on to state how they had stared at the daffodils unblinking without realizing the word then. The final stanza, the persona is reminiscent and wistful, lying on their couch languorously when broadly or thoughtful the image of daffodils conjured upon their mind. The peacefulness and the solitude they had offered would instant fill their heart with pleasure. Their heart would thus go dance along the daffodil he had seen once. So, the conclusion of this poetry is this is a beautiful poem that captures nature at its finest. Each line reveals how man and nature entwined with each other and how nature had the